This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
Tonight, 2 men are accused of killing a hotel manager in Hazelwood. We're learning new details from police and the victims' loved ones. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
I'm Kelly Jackson. Police say all this started after an argument at an extended stay hotel. 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer following this story. She is live outside the Hazelwood Police Department with more on this, Diamond.
Well, Kelly and Mike, I spoke to Victor Folk's niece, who says that he had managed in-town suites for the last 3 years, and he actually moved from Virginia to do that job. And guests that I spoke to say that he was a kind man and would often pay for people's stay if they didn't have the means. Now, Hazelwood Police Department says it all started when an 18 and 20-year-old suspect began arguing inside the hotel. They say the manager asked them to leave. They then went outside, and that's when one of the suspects began shooting at the manager. He was wounded and crawled inside the hotel, where he later died. Now, both suspects, 20-year-old Jalen Elroy and 18-year-old Marshawn Brinkley, are charged with second-degree murder. Police also took a juvenile suspect into custody at the scene. Today, I spoke to one resident who was good friends with Victor and heard the gunfire.
They need to spend the rest of their life behind bars. He was a good person. He didn't deserve it. You got to pay for your mistakes. You know, nobody's perfect, but nobody deserves to die. Not like that.
Now, St. Louis County Prosecuting Attorney Wesley Bell has responded to this incident, saying in part that too many guns are getting to the hands of people that have no business having them. Live here at the Hazelwood Police Department, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
A construction worker is in the hospital after being injured at Six Flags in Eureka. It happened this afternoon around 12:30. The fire department tells us a 10-foot-long, 600-pound piece of equipment fell on the worker. We still don't know his condition, but we are told he is expected to survive. We've reached out to Six Flags for comment. They tell us this was an outside vendor. The park is closed to the public for the season.
Right now, St. Louis police are investigating several armed robberies. They all happened Saturday night within hours of each other. 2 are in the Central West End, one on Boyle, the other on Maryland, the other close by near North Grand and Olive. Well, police are still trying to figure out if they are all connected. They say 4 to 5 suspects were involved in each robbery. Anyone with information is asked to call police.
Now to our weather first forecast. It is a chilly day, and today we've seen some of the coldest air so far this season.
So let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell. Scott?
You know, 27 was our low officially in St. Louis this morning. That takes us back to the 1st of November, the last time we were this cold, when we were down to 27. A little more unusual back at that point of the month compared to this morning. But temperatures this morning in a few spots were down into the upper teens. Most of us were in the 20s. Tomorrow morning, equally or even colder than what we saw this morning. Sun setting over St. Louis as some clouds are trying to roll in. Temperature right now, well, we made it up to 47. Now we're backing off. We're into the low 40s. We'll drop into the 30s this evening. Those clouds that are out there now will be thinning out later tonight. And again, a very cold start for your Tuesday morning, but at least the wind's settling down just a little bit. More on some rain chances later in the week in a few minutes, Kelly.
All right, Scott. Today, Israel and Hamas both agreed to extend a temporary humanitarian pause by 2 days. Hamas says it will release another 20 hostages during that time. So far, Hamas has released 69 hostages, who are mostly women and children. 11 of those were released just hours ago. One of the hostages let go so far is a 4-year-old Israeli American whose parents were killed by Hamas. Abigail Edon was the first American to be released yesterday.
The joy in their house can't be described.
In return for releasing those hostages, Israel has released more than 100 Palestinian prisoners. Dozens of them are children. Most of them were in administrative detention, meaning there was no ongoing legal process, and they didn't know the charges against them. Humanitarian aid is now flowing into Gaza, where thousands are dead and nearly 2 million are displaced. Israel warns it will continue its war in Gaza after the pause is over. And you can get the latest news on the hostage release by texting the word Israel to 314-425-5355.
Tonight, the St. Charles County Council will vote on a resolution that opposes certain immigrants from coming to the region. The resolution, sponsored by 3 council members, quote, opposes the importation of illegal migrants into the region, close quote. It says the council welcomes all legal migrants, but says they have to, quote, follow all applicable federal and state laws. It's amended from a similar resolution that was tabled by the St. Charles County Council earlier this month.
Anyone who follows the federal laws and state laws, you are absolutely welcome to St. Charles County. We welcome you with open arms, but not if you're not following the federal law, period.
The International Institute, which works directly with Latino immigrants, say they were pleased the council reconsidered the wording of the resolution, but they say the amended resolution is still the wrong message to send to people who want to come to the area. Tonight's meeting is scheduled for 7.
Illinois officially kicked off its election season today. Candidates running for office filed papers to get on the ballot.
Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, caught up with several of them as they competed for that coveted first spot in line.
It may be Cyber Monday, but you can't run for office in Illinois from the comfort of your couch on your laptop. No, if you want to pursue a position of power, you've got to get out and do that in person.
Candidates and campaigns camped out in long lines waiting for these doors to open.
Well, I got here on Saturday.
Sharita Logan drove down to Springfield in an RV to deliver thousands of petitions for Congressman Danny Davis and used these lawn chairs to save her spot.
Yes, Chicago dibs, absolutely.
Behind the doors, the only deal was a chance to put his name at the top of the ticket.
So you want to get here early, you want to be on time.
Beyond the paperwork, politicians were eager to get into policy.
Addressing immigration will actually reduce the inflation.
And personality.
You've got a do-nothing candidate, a do-nothing congressman.
This isn't about having your name up on a billboard.
The most contentious primary contest is this Republican race for Congress between newcomer Darren Bailey and 10-year veteran Mike Bost.
What does experience get us?
Well, experience has gotten us a lot.
Bost boasts backing from key Republicans like Kevin McCarthy, Jim Jordan, and in past races, Donald Trump. Bailey brushes those alliances off.
I think the deals are made behind the closed doors, and I think that's part of the system.
Other candidates weren't so bogged down in bitter battles.
This is my first time I've ever run for election.
First-timers and incumbents alike felt a sense of what's at stake if they win or lose.
This was a pickup seat for the Democrats in 2022. If we were to actually lose this, the hill that we'd have to climb would be even more significant.
And 2 years from now, this line will be packed all over again. Between now and then, after it's all decided and the voters have spoken, it's back to the beginning, where we learned what it's all about.
You want to make friends, listen to the people that are here, listen to the different views. It's a melting pot.
Reporting in Springfield, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
All right, now to some big news for Cardinals fans. They continue to rebuild their pitching rotation, and today they signed free agent right-hander Sonny Gray. They made that announcement official about a half an hour ago. He's a 3-time All-Star, was runner-up for the American League Cy Young Award this past season, coming off a strong season with the Minnesota Twins. He signed a reported 3-year, $75 million deal. Now, the Cardinals won't have a young staff. Gray is 34 years old, and just last week, the Redbirds signed 2 other veteran arms to the starting rotation, Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn. An FBI investigation after 3 Palestinian students are shot in Vermont. Tonight, we're hearing from one of the victims' families.
Remembering Rosalind Carter, the special tributes in honor of the former First Lady.
Plus, Consumer Reports puts glass cleaners to the test. Which ones work best to clean up a mess?